What's up, graphic designers? In today's class, we're going to be experimenting with fire. That's right, we're playing with fire. We're not going to be doing this flames and text assignment that I last did in 2018. Instead, what we're going to be doing is maybe using some of these action photos that we capture outside, or maybe what we'll do is take a screenshot from our epic 4-on-4 basketball game that we experienced this past Friday. And there's my man Chris, sizing up. And hitting the three. Well done knocking down that outside jumper. Isaac's impressed. Dexter's impressed. I'm certainly impressed. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a little inspiration from Chris's three-pointer. And I can't help but think about NBA Jam when I see a play like that. And so this was a very popular game when I was a kid. This version, however, updated for, when did this come out? 2021, I believe. And so I'm actually going to teach you guys something in YouTube. If you press J, it goes back 10 seconds. If you press if you press L, it goes back, forward 10 seconds. K pauses it. Additionally, if you press the right arrow key, it goes forward 5 seconds. If you press the left arrow key, it goes back 5 seconds. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead a little bit. I'm going to go back until, is this Charles Barkley? No, this is not. Carter Raptor? Carter. Okay, so here's what I know. I thought that was Charles Barkley. That's absurd. That's Vince Carter. And here's what I know. If we press the period button above option, it goes one frame at a time. So I'm pressing it, it's just going one frame at a time. And so that's really crucial if we want to get like, if we're having difficulty like pausing the play at the exact moment that we want it. And so in a moment, here's what I know. Here's me looking for the open teammate, and I can see that Lola is guarding me, and so I bait her a little bit. I look around, and then here's what I'm doing. I'm going to press period, and I'm tapping it, right? And so what's happening? I see Nolan he's free at the left elbow, and so look at that court vision. Pass it right around Lola, and so I wanted to think, where am I gonna capture this? She does a 360. Nolan spots up, sets, takes the jumper, and I'm actually going to hold spacebar, and right there, so he sinks a shot, or we're going to pretend he sinks a shot, and that's also an epic still frame right there. Alright, so once we get the shot that we want, what happens next? We got Chris's three-pointer, we got Nolan's shot that may or may not have gone in, and so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to start with the original image. What I always do is press Command J, and here I desaturated, but before I desaturated actually, I created a like a cutout of Chris, not a PNG, just a cutout, and you'll notice that there's a layer mask, so that when we created a copy of the bottom layer, layer 1, we got that background layer, we can now add, we can add some blending modes. I use the paint bucket and this blue. And here's what we're going to be doing. We're going to be taking inspiration from NBA Jam. We're going to be adding some flames, and you know what? You can't even see a flame right here. So this is at normal. And so, right, if we added, if we apply the screen blending mode, all the darks would disappear. But that's really tricky to see, right? And so there's some other ways that you can add flames. So here's one way, and we're going to talk about a few more like pretty compelling ways to do it. But I like this visual right here. It's tricky to see with the screen blending mode, and none of the other blending modes really work. Nothing else really looks good. We do want to use screen, and so what can we do? Well, you'll notice that layer 7 right here, I use the a gradient black to transparent, and so now all of a sudden that contrast makes that flame look pretty cool. And you know what? Since we're already here, you know what we'll do? Why not? Why not? We're gonna adjust the arc of this visual. And right now I'm just experimenting. I'm gonna zoom in just a tad, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna shift the ball over, and we want to create this sort of parabolic arc, this like, like the curve of the jump shot. And how are we going to do that with this flame? Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to share with you a few different flames at your disposal. My assumption is that previous one or maybe this one will be ideal, and you can manipulate them. And here's how we're going to do that. I'm going to press Command Shift X. It's a throwback. It's a throwback, and I'm going to zoom in. And let's see. Okay. And you'll notice that the black is still there. The blending mode is not applied. And what are we going to do? We can do lots of things. I'm going to use the forward warp tool, and I'm going to shift it up. I'm going to shift it over a little bit like this. and I can extend it. And so now this looks kind of cool. All right, and what we can do is certainly add a basketball. I'm gonna press OK, and that looks freaking awesome. I'm gonna press Command J. Wow, and you can see that it's a little bit more vibrant. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna put maybe like this right here. I'm gonna press Command Shift X once more, and what's happening here? I'm gonna maybe stretch it out just a tad, and then if we show backdrop, we can see what it looks like on the image itself. Show mask. Okay, I'm gonna press OK to confirm. And do we like that? Yeah, that looks pretty cool. And so what I also know is that if we want to get rid of some of the front of this flame, I'm going to click Layer Mask. I'm going to press B for brush. I'm going to right click. Oh, and then you know, right now we're on that flame. We're in the flames brush. I don't think we want to be there, but you know, we could. It's not that serious, and so we can create something that looks a little bit like this. So we're manipulating it. Wow, that looks, you know what, guys, that actually looks pretty awesome. I'm gonna hold Command. I'm gonna click the thumbnail underneath it. All right. Oh. You know what, guys, I got confused for a second because I'm like, why is it creating that weird polygon of a shape? And I forgot for just a moment that we had applied the blending modes. And so you know what, that's what's gonna happen when you command click a layer, and that's okay. So I'm gonna press Command Z, I'm gonna hold Command, I'm gonna manipulate it, and we're just gonna rotate it just a tad. And so we can experiment with it. I'm experimenting. What I would love to see you guys do is add a crowd, add a backdrop, add maybe Vince Carter from NBA Jam. I want to see you make the ordinary extraordinary in all these images. And again, if you're going to be taking a screenshot from the YouTube video, you're going to hop on YouTube. Don't go to YouTube. What you're going to do instead is you can simply press Command Option 4 or Command Option Shift 4, and what that will happen, I'm sorry, Command Control 4 or Command Control Shift 4, and what's going to happen is that will allow us to create a select area of the screen where we can create a screenshot. I'm going to return to Photoshop. It's copied to the clipboard. I'm going to do File New, and I'm going to press Create and Command V, and that looks good. Okay, we're almost done. What I would suggest you do instead, however, is go File New. We're going to click on Print. We're going to go to Letter. Orientation is going to be in landscape mode. I'm going to press Command V, and I think that given that much of this image is like the action is on the left side of the screen, we're going to want the canvas to be a little bit smaller, so I'm going to press Command T. I'm going to increase the size. You guys are the hero, so we want you featured prominently, and then what are we doing? We're going to rotate the image. So where the wall meets the floor on the opposite side of the court is going to be parallel with the bottom or the top of the page. Do you guys know what I mean? So I'm saying parallel, and like this, you know, that's right. I'll make it red real quick. So we want the bottom of the floor to be to be parallel right there, because if it's not, watch this. If I press Command V, Command T, it looks like you guys are balling out in the middle of an earthquake, or like you're on you're getting seasick on some like cruise that's in the middle of a tsunami or something like that. So that's not the background that we want. You're going to create something that maybe looks a little bit like this. I cannot wait to see you work. I cannot wait to see how you apply fire. Let me know if you have any questions. Good luck.